What's up, guys? It is Sam here, and I wanted to talk about why I worked at Abercrombie Fitch and Guess, the clothing store, and then some of the things that I did while I was there, because it's been over 7 years, and I think that's long enough. So actually, I just remembered, and I thought it'd be pretty interesting. But first, make sure you press that red button that says subscribe and the little bell notification so YouTube can notify you when I post a video. So, first of all, I was homeschooled my entire life. So while you're in school, like, hitting on girls and hooking up with girls and whatnot, I was homeschooled. Like, I was at home every day, 7 days a week. 365. K through 12. And I wasn't allowed to date anybody. I wasn't allowed to have a girlfriend. I wasn't allowed to go out with girls and that kind of thing at all. So when I turned 18, that's all I wanted to do. All I wanted to do. There was zero focus on it. I went to the gym and I just tried to hook up with girls. That was it. So when I would go to the mall prior to being 18, because at that time there wasn't like phones around like they have them today. That would be when I was like 18-ish. So 16 years ago or something, early 2000s. The phones weren't around like they were today. I would go to the mall and I'd go around shopping or whatever, and I would see where the girls were. You just notice it. Like, if that's all that's on your mind, right, is you're just trying to meet girls and hook up with girls, that's what you would notice. So I noticed that there was a lot of hot girls at Abercrombie. So that's where I got my job, at the mall. And that was the only reason I got the job at Abercrombie, because there was a lot of hot girls in there. And when I worked there, this is before they had that lawsuit about discrimination and everything. And I would work there. I just knew the managers and that kind of thing. So they would have me do group interviews sometimes. And literally, whatever was probably stated in the lawsuit, it was probably that or worse. Like, there would be times that I'd do a group interview, and I would just give people a piece of paper and be like, "Hey, draw something," and I would like walk away, and they were like, "I don't know what to draw," and I was like, "Draw anything. It doesn't really matter. I'm just gonna pick whoever I think is hot anyway." So that's what I would do. Then I'd go like walk away, and I would pull up their applications or whatever, and be like, oh, "Okay, well, she's hot. She's hot. That's a dude." And then somebody else who was a manager was female. Well, he's hot. So we would just literally go through and pick people who were attractive. That was it. That was the single criteria. And that was a great way to meet girls, because not only did there was a lot of girls there with perpetual turnover, meaning there's always new girls to meet, but then there was also a lot of girls that came into the store. That was when people actually wore Abercrombie. And then after that, I worked there for a number of years. After that, I worked at Guess clothing, and because I was like, oh man, the girls over at Guess, those girls are fucking smoking hot. So I decided to work over at Guess clothing, and I don't think I should talk about the stories from over there, but they were some interesting times. Not only because the girls in Guess were different than the girls that were in Abercrombie, but originally I'd worked at both jobs simultaneously, because then that way I could meet even more girls. But the girls that went into Guess as customers, even though Guess was a much smaller store, the girls that went into Guess were they were like hotter than the girls that were coming into Abercrombie on average. So that was my whole intention of getting the jobs at Abercrombie and at Guess, was just strictly, like, there was no other reason other than to meet girls, like, from a long period of time, right, from like 18 to mid 20s or something. That's all I wanted to do. That's it. There wasn't anything else I was focusing on but trying to figure out how to meet girls. If my buddies were going to hang out, and I would talk to them, and if there was girls coming over, that would be cool. But I'd have to know who they were, right? Because otherwise I would just go try to get girls on my own. If they were just going to be playing video games, I wouldn't go. If we were going to go out to, if they weren't going to be going out to a party where there was going to be girls there, I wouldn't go. If they were going to be going out to the bar to meet girls, I wouldn't go. If it was just going to be like a bunch of friends hanging out, I would rather do my own thing, and I wouldn't go. And this happened for a long, I can remember probably on one hand, the number of times I would hang out with friends if there wasn't girls around. Because otherwise I'd be like, well, if they're not going to go try to get girls, like, I'll go try to get girls myself. Or I will, like, hit up a girl and just hang out with her instead of, like, hanging out with my buddies. Like, that would be more fun. And that is strictly what I did for a number of years. And I think bringing that to memory was a interesting time, and oh man, that was a super interesting time. Not something that necessarily I'm proud of, but it is also one of the reasons that I am the person that I am today. Appreciate you guys. Peace.